It was a crazy day in court today as the investigating officer hit back on Tiffany Meek's claims that she made in her affidavit. Now, Tiffany is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law, and these are all allegations against her. So for the timeline, I've left out how the day started because we know that Jaden went to school. When things start to differ is by 4 o'clock when Tiffany claims she asked her mom to phone the transport driver because she didn't have airtime. She had data. She was talking to her mom on WhatsApp or whatever, but she didn't have data. The transport driver phones Tiffany and says, look, Jaden was dropped off. Now, this becomes weird later on because according to Tiffany's own words in an affidavit that you cannot lie on, by the way, she says that she confirmed with a child and security by 5 o'clock that Jaden Lee had entered the complex and fled off. And the SAPS notes that the securities changed duty at 6 o'clock. So security 1, who was there during the day, goes off duty, and security 2 comes on duty for the night shift. Now, 7 o'clock, Jaden Lee is reported missing to police, and the SAPS says they opened a case immediately. So much so that by 8 o'clock, they had taken Tiffany in their car with them to the transport driver's house. And they had searched his house and questioned him, but they didn't find Jaden Lee. I mean, it sounds like they were searching to me. Then at 9 o'clock, the SAPS and Tiffany returned to Flatorf, and they talked to Security 2. And Security 2 says, you know what, I wasn't here today. Ask Security 1 who lives just there. So they go to Security 1's house, and he cooperates, and he says, I saw Jaden come in. I even opened for him. I'm the only one with a remote who can open the main gate, and I did. I saw him get off the bus, the white bus, and he came into the complex. And while he's busy saying this, Tiffany says, according to the SAPS, don't stop saying that, you're lying, or something along those lines. That is just crazy. Why is she saying that, according to the SAPS, if, by 5 o'clock, she has already confirmed that he has come home? Now, during this time, Tiffany is saying in her affidavit that the SAPS is not searching. Tiffany's brother is knocking on all the doors, is threatening with arrest. But the SAPS look like they are searching because you know what? At 9:30, the SAPS and Tiffany meet a child who was on the same bus as Jaden Lee. And the child and his mother come to the gate and they talk. And the child says, look, I saw him go into the complex. I know because I closed the door of the taxi or the bus, the sliding door, and while I was closing it, I saw him go in. Then Tiffany says to this child, are you sure? This is according to the SAPS. Now, the SAPS said they wanted to go back to Tiffany's flat and, talk to her in private, but she wouldn't allow it. She kept saying, let's go search here, let's go search there. So from 9:30 to midnight, the police and the family get in the car, they're driving around Flatorf, they're looking in the roads, and then at midnight, the search stops for the day. And Tiffany is dropped off back at outside her flat in Flatorf. Now, important to note, the family and Tiffany do not go in the flat. They go straight into the car. This is according to the police. And then Tiffany sleeps at her mom's house, which is a 6-minute drive away. Now, this is interesting to me because you know what? Why has Tiffany saying that the SAPS have not been doing their job? Personally, it looks like they went and searched the transport man's house. And that's one of Tiffany's charges. Tiffany is charged with obstruction of justice because she made this man a suspect when she knew, according to the police, that he was not a suspect. And another thing is, why is Tiffany interfering with witnesses? Telling them, no, you're lying. Are you sure? And this is interesting because if Tiffany gets granted bail tomorrow, I do believe that she will go and stay at an address in KwaZulu-Natal to prevent talking to all the witnesses in this case, which are many. And there are many witnesses to what is going on. And I mean, if she is being framed, How many people would need to be convinced that she was being framed? Now, the next day, at 4 o'clock, Security 2 sees Tiffany return to Flathof alone. She says, I need to go and shower, I need a change of clothes. And the security says, look, I want to go search everyone's car. Do you want to come help me? And she says, yeah, I'll come help you. Just wait a bit. Now, at 5:30, so she was in her flat for an hour and a half. Security 2 sees Tiffany leave Flathof. She says, sorry, I couldn't help you search. I have to go catch my bolt. Security looks out, just sees darkness, no headlights, and he can see the road. And he says Tiffany just disappeared into darkness. Now, 5:30, a tenant left around the same time as Tiffany. I think it was just before her. And there was no Jaden Lee on the stairs. But at 6 o'clock, Jaden Lee is discovered on the stairs by another tenant who runs down to Security 2. Security 2 rushes up, says Jaden Lee is naked except for his underwear. It's freezing. It's in May, right? It's cold. So they pull him into the warmth. They check his pulse. Someone puts a blanket on him and he is cold. There is no pulse. His eyes are not reacting. It's probably likely that he is dead. So they're trying to phone ambulances. They're trying to phone Tiffany. And we know Tiffany is at her mom and she receives the phone call. And Tiffany takes her son to the hospital. But she left out the fact that she had a police escort. Because they flagged down a passing police car. And this police car gave them an escort to the hospital. And at 8:30 already, the police were at the hospital documenting his injuries. Now at 9 o'clock, investigators arrive at Flathof. They secure the scene and they identify Tiffany's flat as a crime scene. The photographer starts investigating and he photographs Jaden Lee's school bag and shoes in Flathof. Now at 2:50, the blood sniffer dog does alert at someone's flat. But it wasn't the security guard's flat, according to the police. The dog alerts to a pillow that is present in the bedroom 1 of Tiffany's flat. And then that evening, importantly, the SAPS interviewed Tiffany. Tiffany confirms she went back to Flathof at 5:22 to 5:47 and that she did not see Jaden Lee. This is in what I believe is probably a signed affidavit if the police took her statement. So that is interesting. Tiffany herself apparently admitted to investigators that she went back. It's not just the security guard that is the witness. It is Tiffany herself who is a witness. And let me tell you, all her statements are going to come into court through the media. And then we know Tiffany says the school bag was only found in the flat on the 16th of May, but it was photographed there on the 14th. And now I want to point out something here. T knows she's a suspect on the 30th. Police tell her, right? Now on the 16th of June, T knows she's a suspect. She's still out there protesting. She mentions on a TikTok that I watched that her flat has been tampered with. Is she already trying to cook a story from that time? Now, this is hectic. I will be watching day 3 of the bail application and I will update you. But if you have any questions, leave them below and I will try my best to answer them. And guys that are coming and saying she's